When we think about systems culture, and oftentimes there's a lot of this baggage that people carry around, business owners in particular. I don't have time, I don't have money, I don't have team, I'll do it later. They keep on putting off systemization. Everybody has them, and excuses and reasons not to do something pop up all the time. What excuses end up being is this baggage that really affects your motivation. And we need to make sure that we talked about intensity before and consistency, and really what you're looking for is consistency. If you just rely on your motivation will go up and down. To build a systems culture, what we need to do is build in habits into the business. And I've got this little graphic here that kind of explains this quite well. You can see here, if you're relying on your motivation, it's real up and down. And at some point you'll give up because you're right at that squiggly line at the start. You get all frustrated, all of that resistance happens, you come up with all of these excuses, and then it stops you taking the action that deep down you know you need to take. That's why you're attending this workshop. That's why you're here, because you know systems are at the foundation of all profitable businesses. There's no way around it. At some point in time, you're going to have to put systems in place if you want to build a business that works without you. If you want to scale, if you want to weather any storm and get through any market conditions, you have to put systems in place. There's no two ways. So quit putting it off and start to take the action and think about, how do we move from motivation to making this a habit? And this just becomes the way that we do things here. Part of it is you start with perfection, or rather you start with repetition, not perfection. That's a biggie. We just want to make sure something happens. You're not going to do it perfect the first time. You're going to make mistakes. That's part of the process. So you need to get into the rhythm of making this repetitive and keeping it front and center and giving systems the constant attention that they deserve as one of the most, if not the most important asset inside your business. And this comes down to the idea of building in habits. What habits could you build inside your business to make sure that systems get the attention they need? I'll give you some ideas. Firstly, you need to make some time for systems. You got to put it on your calendar, add it as an agenda item for your meetings to make sure it comes up on a regular basis. Build this habit of, when something goes wrong in your business, it's always the system's fault first. Don't point the finger at team members and say, why didn't you do this? You did this wrong. You missed that step. This is broken because of you. The first default step should be, let's look at the system and did you follow the system? If an issue happens and they follow the system, well, great. Let's tweak the system and then make sure that that doesn't happen again. Then we start to, rather than playing whack-a-mole in business, we solve problems at the root cause, at the systems level. We solve it once and then we solve it forever. That's what systems are about. Most business owners get stuck on this treadmill of solving the same problem again and again and again and again and again and again. And it's the same problem every single time. Solve it once as a system, make it the way that you do things, and then move on to another problem. If you think that, and let me burst your bubble here, if you think that you're going to reach a point where you never have any challenges in your business, let me just assure you that you'll never reach that point. Business is about solving problems. But you need to, as a business owner, solve higher quality problems. You keep on leveling up at every stage in business. There's just new challenges to overcome. What drains your entrepreneurial life force the quickest is if you're solving the same problems and then you lose that drive as a business owner because it becomes frustrating because you're having to repeat yourself and tell the team that they have to do this. And, hey, I told you how to do that last time. Make it the system's fault first. Find the system's solution. Build a level of accountability and transparency. How can you build accountability and transparency into your business where it is crystal clear who is doing what, by when, and what is the expectation and standards around how it should be done? And take on this mindset of, Tony Robbins talks about this idea of constant and never ending improvement of systems. This is not a one and done scenario. When you build culture, this is the way that we do things here, is what we're trying to get to. This is not, hey, I've systemized for 3 months and then I'm done. But it will get easier. You have to get over the hump first. You do have to remind staff. You do have to keep it front and center. But then there'll become a point where you've recruited people and onboarded people and you've trained people. This is how we do things here. And then it gets easier.